This is Dumbed Down Life number 52.
We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Merry Christmas, Jenkins.
Merry Christmas, sir. And may I say how sorry I am you caught me giving that turkey a most unconventional stuffing?
Well, Jenkins, you've got to get the Paxo up there somehow.
Yes, indeed, sir. It's just that one feels so terribly lonely at Christmas.
Oh, Jenkins, there's no need to be lonely. Sit ye by the fire and let me croon you a Christmas story.
Oh, jolly well done, sir.
Now there's a little boy called Johnny, fast asleep in bed, with cozy thoughts of Christmas spinning round his head, till he hears jingle bells and a big voice shout. So he tiptoes to the window and he goes to check it out.
Sorry, sir. Bored already.
The snow is white and crispy and the night's so black. There's a fat old man before him with a fat old sack, and there's a faint gleam of hope in his pauper's eyes. So he opens up the window and the man says, surprise. I'm not Santa Claus, I've come to rob your house. Your daddy's left you, Johnny, I've just seen him going out. So I guess that you've been tricked. This sack is full of stuff I've nicked, and I'm not Santa Claus, I've come to rob your house. I'm not Santa Claus, I've come to rob your house. Jenkins, have you finished with that chicken?
It flew out of the window, sir.
You should see a doctor, Jenkins. Just not healthy, chappered a chicken.
I promise from now on I'll leave the poultry alone, sir.
So Johnny turns to Santa, and his eyes read shock. And he turns his face to the fireplace at his empty sock, with his red, rosy cheeks and the snot down his chin. Little Johnny, you really ought to not have let that stranger come in, 'cause he's not Santa Claus, he's come to rob your house. So if I were you, I'd hide and I'd be quiet as a mouse. Yes, it seems that underneath that fluffy beard's a man called Keith. He's not Santa Claus, he's come from Clapham South. He's not Santa Claus, he's come to rob your... A little tear appears from within Johnny's eyes. Santa Claus collapses, he's had too many pies. He tries to breathe, but he's just had a cardiac. Now Johnny gets to keep what Santa brought him in his sack.
Look, Daddy, Jazz Max.
I'm not Santa Claus, I've come to rob your house. Your daddy's left you, Johnny, I've seen him going out. So I guess that you've been tricked, you stupid, brainless little... I'm not Santa Claus, I've come to rob your Johnny. Well done, Jenkins. I'm not Santa Claus, I've come. Santa Claus, I've come. I'm not Santa Claus, I've come to rob your house. Merry Christmas, everybody. Merry Christmas, and God bless us each and every one. It's a bit cold in here, Jenkins.
Traces of Nuts with I'm not Santa Claus, I've come. I seem to remember being appalled the first time I heard that. Oh dear. And they've actually, well, quote, re-released it, because they put it back on the feed again for this year. Traces of Nuts being a podcast of comedy outtakes and the like, so go and have a listen to them. Hello, gentlemen.
Hello, Darren.
Hello, Darren. Hello, Lance. And hello, Santa, if you're listening.
He's not Santa, he's come.
So a full year, 52 episodes. We did the 50 episode thing a couple of weeks back, and what we've gone through this week is found some of the clips from favourites. Why am I stumbling here? Lance, this was supposed to be your topic. That's why I'm stumbling. You just dumped this on me at the last minute.
Well, no. You're more articulate than I am, allegedly.
Allegedly, yeah.
It's Christmas. Consider it a present, Darren.
Yeah, thanks. It's because I've been drinking. Yeah, no, I haven't really.
That's your problem.
I haven't been drinking. So we went through and had a look at had a listen to some of the.
We had a listen back at some of the stuff that we'd done over the year, and picked our favourite pieces. Is that sounding better?
That's what I was trying to say.
We were originally going to call it the best bits, but we thought that was a bit adventurous.
So the first bit I've got up here to play is Who Wants to Be a Real Tease? So I think that's yours, isn't it, Darren?
That was, my favourite bit, because it was a show that put itself together. We decided to do a Who Wants to Be a Millionaire parody. It was just so good to do, because the thing was, the pressure built up, even though there wasn't any money involved. And I played Chris Tarrant asking the questions, and Lance was the poor sod in the hot seat.
Hey, if you'd wanted to really build the pressure up, you should have made food the prize, because Lance is very much into competition with food, aren't you, Lance?
Absolutely, yeah. I'd have got further than I did. Although I did do quite well. Is this from the very first one that we did that died a miserable death when my system crashed?
No,
or this is from
the second one.
From the full one that we did. Where did I get to? I fell apart on the million question, didn't I?
I thought it was 250,000. Not sure.
Can't remember.
Look at him there trying to big himself up. It was only a million question of this.
It was that good. We loved it that much that we can't actually remember how far I got.
Well, yeah.
In the 1970s and 1980s, Franz Klammer was a leading figure in which sport? Was it A, tennis, B, skiing, C, football, or D, snooker?
Good God, we're in trouble.
This is for £16,000. In the 1970s and 1980s, Franz Klammer was leading figure in which sport?
I've got but I'm not going to tell you which one, because I'm going to use my 50.
You're going to use your 50-50. Okay.
I am.
Use your 50-50.
Just on the programme that whenever they say 50-50, he always asks, what do you think it is?
And then he leaves that one.
They generally say, ignore that one, it's definitely not the other two. And it's always the two
that they wipe out.
Left, exactly.
Yep.
So I'm not going to tell you.
Okay, well, the two that are left on the board are A, tennis, and B, skiing. So in 1970s and 1980s, Franz Klammer was a leading figure in which sport? And are those the two that you would have left?
Yeah. Crap. I'm 90% certain I know the answer. And I'm going to play.
You're going to go with?
I think it's skiing.
You're going to go with skiing. For £16,000. Are you sure?
Final answer.
That is your final answer.
It is.
Well, we will find out.
I can see where Chris Tarrant gets his power trips off from leading people into the right after this commercial.
It's so frustrating. I never realised quite how annoying it can be. But having sort of sat there and done it, and you sort of really get into it. And you think, oh, have I got it right? I haven't got it right. And you hang it out, and then you say, after the next song. And I was like, no!
I think that we should do, if not that again, at least another quiz sort of thing similar to that again at some point in the next 12 months. That'll be good.
Oh, absolutely. I think there's a board game of, not Blankety Blank, what's the other one? With Mr. Babbage. Family Fortunes. We asked a survey of 100 people, what is something you'd find in the kitchen? You know?
Yeah.
French made.
Yeah. French onions.
You could have the sound effects and everything, couldn't we? I'm sure we could find Mr. Babbage, the sound, online somewhere, couldn't we?
But yeah, that's a good one. We'll look up that one.
Would you do that, Doug?
If I knew the answers to the questions before. I refuse to appear on such a popular radio show and look stupid.
Why? I do it every week. Okay, I've got two favourite items, but they do run for quite a while because they're not something that I could easily edit down. Funnily enough, they both come from the same show, so that must have been the best show we did for some reason, I don't know. The first one was the Virtual Barber, which was a stereo sound file that you listen to with headphones on, and the guy literally does walk around your head, and you get a really good sort of spatial experience. So I thought this would be worth playing again.
Oh, hello there. How are you? Yes. You are here for the virtual haircut? Yes, okay. I will go get Luigi. He will come and cut your hair. I am Manuel. Just stay right there. Luigi? Luigi? Luigi, it's Manuel here. The person is here for your virtual haircut. You better come up.
Grazie, Manuel. I come right now.
Okay. He is coming up right now, and meanwhile I will go over here and play the music, play the guitar, because that is what I do here at the barber shop.
It's so nice to see you. Welcome to the Starkey Cetera Barbershop and your virtual haircut. I'd like to start the demonstration by moving over to your right-hand side and picking up this bag. If you just hold still for a second, I'll put this bag over your head. Just like that. The bag over the top of the head. And now I'll take the bag off. There we go. The only reason I did that is because all of the fancy barbershops do that. What you're listening to as I move off to your right here and very quickly wash my hands. Manuel, could you get that, please?
Yes, over there.
Thank you, Manuel. Let me finish washing my hands here. Just bear with me for a few more seconds. There we go. Yes. As I was saying, all we are doing is using your head as the listening point. And we have two microphones, one on either side of the head, in the same position as where your left and your right ears are. Your brain is doing all of the work, telling you where the sounds are coming from. Okay, I'll go get the scissors. It's nice and sharp. Now, as I begin the clipping, and I bring the clippers closer to your ear, very close to the right ear. Follow me as I move around the back of the head to the left ear, and up and over the top of the head. Okay. Now, you can get the same effect better with the electric razor. I'll first bring it close to your right ear. Perfect. And around the back. And onto your left. There. I think that looks wonderful. Manuel, what do you think?
Huh? What? Oh, yes. Yes. It looks wonderful, Luigi. You do such nice work.
Ah, thank you so much, Manuel.
So fast, too.
Now, as I walk around, I just want to tell you once more that your ability to hear where I am as I walk around the room is simply the amazing power of your brain. Calculating the tiny differences or cues in sound intensity and arrival time from two open ears. And unlike any other hearing instrument, only one has the digital algorithm that negates its own physical presence in the ear to fully restore those differences. That algorithm is called Cetera. Well, thank you. Thank you so much for stopping by the Starkey Virtual Barber Shop. Goodbye and arrivederci.
Now that was
Did you
something.
turn off the show?
Yes, no, I didn't. I just turned off the microphone. Yeah, when we first played that, I was quite impressed with it 'cause it's not something I'd really heard before. The whole sort of real stereo effect.
And that's something which I'd heard, not to that quality, obviously, but many moons ago when they were first introducing stereo record players. And they had a marching band marching from the left speaker all the way across in front of you out to the right. If I could find that somewhere, that would be something that's worth converting into MP3.
There's a section on Dark Side of the Moon where a lady runs down a cobbled street, and that runs, if you listen to that in full stereo, she runs from the right-hand side behind you and over to the left-hand side.
I've got that on CD, so I might have to put it on my iPod or something so I can listen to it with headphones on, because whether I've just got poor hearing, whenever I listen to anything on speakers, I never really tend to get much of the stereo effect.
Well, a lot of it comes down to placement in the room, objects in the room, stuff like that. It can have a huge effect on the true stereo field. So if you really want to get best stereo effect, you're probably better off with headphones, because then, you know, obviously the sound's delivered directly to your ears, so there's nothing in the way to block it or to reflect sound and stuff like that.
Guarantee you've got the same matching speakers and the correct length of cable and all that sort of thing as well, because that becomes critical if you're doing anything clever with stereo beyond the straight left and right separation.
Absolutely. And they've actually now, they've redigitized and remastered Dark Side of the Moon, and they've now produced it in surround sound.
Oh, really?
Yeah, which I've never actually listened to. I've never heard it in surround sound, but I would imagine, given the right stimulus, and that would be pretty impressive.
Yeah, I'll have to do that, I think.
With the Wizard of Oz playing in the telly in front of me.
Just download the YouTube clips. That's nice and easier.
Now, my second piece is, like I say, it was from the same show, and it was Doug's topic for that week, and it was highly enjoyable to take part in, and it was the piece on lyricosis.
Okay, let me read you a definition of the word lyricosis. 1, singing so poorly that nobody can understand what you've sung. And 2, not knowing the actual lyrics but singing anyway. Usually type 1 causes type 2 in the listener, therefore the condition is considered contagious. So what this is all about is about lyrics to songs and not being able to understand what's sung and either giving up entirely or making up your own lyrics to the song.
This is Dad singing, isn't it?
This is what?
Dad singing.
Yeah, that's right. It's your dad singing. Then again, I think we're all guilty of it to a degree.
My dad doesn't sing.
My dad didn't either, thank goodness. But what I've done is I've lined up some sound clips from songs, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to play them, and I want you to try and see if you can tell me exactly what the lyrics say. Now, this first one, I actually think Lance may know anyway, because it's a Meatloaf song, but I'm going to play it now, and it's a section from Dead Ringer for Love with Cher, and it's actually Cher singing, so just tell me if you can understand what's being said.
It's something like, I'm going to tie my daddy up and hit him with an axe.
Do you know, when I was younger, I had no idea what it said, and what I used to sing was, I'm looking for a nigher bird of freedom life cycle. I want to tell my daddy I'll be fizzling out, which, needless to say, aren't the actual lyrics to this.
It's something to do with automotive. I don't know the other bit, but and then it's I want to tell my daddy that I'm missing in action, isn't it?
Oh, well done, Lance. You got the last bit right, but the first bit, no. What she actually says is, I'm looking for anonymous and fleeting satisfaction. I want to tell my daddy I'll be missing in action.
Yeah.
Now you actually know what it is. Have a listen to it again and see if you can hear that that's what she's saying.
I'm looking for anonymous and freedom satisfaction. I want to tell my daddy I'll be missing in action.
Yeah, makes more sense now.
Excellent. It's amazing when you know what it is. Okay, this next one is by Rocket Man from Elton John.
Rocket Man, burning out the fuse I've ever known.
Do you know, I've never, ever known what he says there.
Darren, any ideas?
Riding on the heels of Babylon?
Well, it's burning through the something, I'm sure of it, because it's a spaceship and stuff.
Okay, what he actually says is, Rocket Man, burning out his fuse up here alone.
Rocket Man, burning out the fuse I've ever known.
And it makes much more sense now, doesn't it?
This is
I think
fantastic.
Mark's version is better. Burning off my shoes off nevermore.
Excellent choice, yeah, that'd probably work a lot better as well. Okay, this next one I think everybody knows, and I'm not sure how many people know exactly what it says, but I'll play it for you.
I've got an idea what it's coming.
By the B-52s. Have a listen to this and see what you think she said.
I believe it's Tin Roof, Rusty.
That's what I think.
Oh, guys, spot on. Well done. I didn't realise anybody knew that. Do you know, Bobby and I, my wife and I, we had to go out and find out exactly what that said because we had no clue at all.
To be fair, I did see a documentary on the B-52s, and that whole thing was brought up, and apparently it was down to when they were jamming the song and sort of working it out, where the guy says, "You're what?" and she says, "Tin Roof Rusted." It was the other way around, because she just, off the top of her head, sang "Tin Roof Rusted," and he turned around and went, "What?" And they thought it was kind of good, but it didn't fit, so they swapped it round.
Excellent. So, well, I mean, you guys got that, and apparently everyone in the room did as well. So, well done, guys.
So it's just you then.
Just me then who didn't know what it is. Okay, this next one is Louie Louie by the Kinks. Again, have a listen, see what you think they're saying.
You know, I didn't get a single word of it.
Darren, any ideas?
I think he said Louie Louie at the end.
Yeah, absolutely, he did. Well, what he actually says is, "Fine little girl waits for me, catch a ship across the sea, sail that ship about all alone, never know if I make it home." Now, the worst thing about this one is I'll play it again now you know the lyrics and see if they make any more sense, because I have a feeling they won't.
Kind of, yeah.
So the thing is, when I first heard that, I did hear something little girl, and I thought, nowadays you've got to be very careful even mentioning little girl in any kind of song, because it does tend to give the wrong impression. So, yeah.
Okay, and we got one more. This is the last one. Now, this is by a band called Iron Butterfly. I'm not going to tell you what the actual title of the song is, because that would kind of give it away. So have a listen and see what you think they say.
In a gotta feed her, honey. Don't you know that hunger?
Okay, any ideas? What do you think this is?
Don't you know that I love you?
Lance?
I didn't get a single word. Sorry.
That's quite all right. Well, actually, Darren, interestingly enough, you're pretty close. It was meant to be originally In the Garden of Eden, baby. That's how the lyrics were written. But when they actually went to record it, the vocalist, who had a bit of an alcohol problem, was absolutely plastered. And it turns out he couldn't actually sing the words In the Garden of Eden, baby. So instead he slurred the words In a Garda de Vida, baby. And that's what the song became. So it was originally not meant to be that, but he just simply couldn't pronounce the words because he was too plastered. But yeah, so it wasn't meant to be that. It was meant to be In the Garden of Eden, as Darren says, which is what it sounds like, but it isn't.
Fantastic.
Yeah, so that was my other favourite.
Lyricosis, I like that one, and that was quite good. And I have to say, listening to Louis Loire again, I still can't hear a single bloody word he said.
No, me either. I listened to that as I was cutting it down out of the show to play, and I still couldn't get it.
So it's been a whole year then, 52 shows we've done.
Well, I think we've actually done more than 50.
No, I think I've done about 4.
I think we've done more than 52, because this is Dumbed Down Live 52. We did one that was Dumbed Down Live number 1, but we kept all the other shows that we weren't, because we just did the first live show as a tester, and then we kept the number running as we did afterwards. So we've actually done 53.
Yeah, but then didn't you say you thought we'd missed out a week somewhere as well?
Yeah. So quite how we've managed to get to 52 shows, I've no idea.
And exactly 52 shows on the day of the year. That was quite well planned.
No, not planned at all. You should know after 12 months we don't tend to plan anything. That was Boy at Heart with No Matter What You Have Done or Not Done, which we played back in Dumb Down Life number 37. Now, Boy at Heart is a guy called Rob Cook. He's a one-man band who was one of the few artists that actually responded. We have to alert the artist when we play a song, and he was one of the few that came back to us and thanked us for playing his songs. So I've had a bit of an email conversation with Rob over the last few months. He's having a new song released soon called Don't Be Afraid of Your Shadow. And he's put a request out for anybody who's had contact with him. He's got his own blog for people to record a piece of film of their shadow, to send off to him that he's going to make into a video for this song.
That's interesting. Not many artists ask for help from people for videos. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Now, Rob moved... He quit his job in England. He's an English guy, but he now lives in Thailand. He quit his job. He moved out to Thailand, and I think he got married over there. And he now is trying to make a living out of songwriting and recording whilst living in Thailand.
Fantastic. And I have to say, Rob, if you're listening, Lance will verify this. I'm not a big fan of the whole 30-something singer-songwriter brigade. But I have to say, I really like that song. That was great. So keep making sure you write songs like that, fella.
So what we do have now, another song by A Boy at Heart, and it's a world exclusive as far as I know. It's not been made PodSafe, it's not been uploaded to the PodSafe Music Network yet, and as far as I'm aware, we're the only people that have got a copy of this song. So this is going to be a first play on any podcast anywhere.
Tracks before, by now you could be so much more. It makes you blame yourself and everybody else, stalking you forevermore. If you don't act it will ensure you stay just where you are, keeping life and love.
Shadow, don't
boy at heart, and don't be afraid of Hank Marvin. God, I'm showing my age.
Do you know, I had to think about that for a second.
Shadows, you know?
Yes,
Hank
yeah,
Marvin,
I'm with you.
Yeah, all right.
As an aside, did you know they've reformed with Cliff?
Oh, for goodness
They're
sake.
going to do a one-time final ever tour, Cliff Richard and the Shadows.
Oh, good lord. Quite frankly, I think they went downhill after Apache. Hey, that wasn't a joke, I meant it.
So, yeah, anyway, we will put a link in the show notes where you can go if you want to contribute to the Shadows video. I'm sure that it will be appreciated. Last weekend, I went with my father and my brother to Wembley Stadium to the Race of Champions. Now, what this event was, or is rather, is drivers from all sorts of different schools of racing come together and they race around a track that has been put onto the football pitch at Wembley Stadium. You wouldn't think there was enough room there to have a racetrack, but there is. It's almost like it's like a Scalextric. It looks like they'll just double back on itself. Obviously, there's not enough room for overtaking, so what they do is they start the two cars at roughly half a lap difference, and then they race around. And obviously, the start-finish line is when the car has been round back to where it started again. Some of the drivers there were Carl Edwards from NASCAR, Tanner Faust from Formula Drift. I hadn't heard of that one. You heard of Formula Drift at all, Doug?
Yeah, it came over from Japan, didn't it? It's the where they go everywhere sideways, and it's all about style and finesse and how much you hang your car sideways.
Are these the max power cars, that kind of thing? The need for speed? Obviously not, then.
No, don't know. So I've not heard of it, but certainly if it is that sort of Tokyo Drift kind of stuff, that sounds like it could be worth looking into. From the UK, we had Jenson Button, who works for Honda Formula One.
Not anymore.
They did shut up now, have they? I couldn't remember whether they pulled out entirely or whether it got saved at the last minute or what happened.
No, they've pulled out.
Have pulled out. Oh, yeah. Right.
So where's to pull out?
And Andy, I can't pronounce his surname, Prelu, I think it is, who's a touring car driver. David Coulthard, who this year retired from Formula One. Jason Plato, who's a touring car driver. Ivan Muller, who's touring car. Sebastian Loeb, who's a rally car driver. Some guy called Michael Schumacher, who apparently used to be a Formula One driver, and Sebastian Vettel, who's also Formula One. And they were racing all kinds of different cars. They had sort of a buggy set up. They had something which looked like a go-kart on steroids. And they also had... Have either of you seen the new Fiat 500s?
No.
Do you remember the old one, though, yeah?
No.
Yeah.
They've done very similar to what they did with the Mini. They've just modernised it. But they've put a 1.4 litre engine in it, and they were racing around in these 1.4 litre turbocharged GT Fiat 500s, and it was fantastic to watch. It was really good.
Now, interestingly enough, the way you describe the track, it actually sounds like what they call special stages in rallying, which is where, most rally tracks are done out on open circuits. They use road circuits, they use off-road, stuff like that. Well, during the special stages, they set up just a little track, and it tends to be that kind of Scalextric style, looping backwards and forwards track, and they race against each other on that. So it sounds like a rally special stage.
Is that this? Would that be this small, though? I'm not sure. I wouldn't have thought they'd have had them this small.
Yeah, actually, the rally special stages do tend to be pretty small.
Yeah, that's interesting.
They're held in sort of stadiums and that, so all the people can sit in the stadiums and watch it all.
Actually, yeah, that was another point. They did have Ford Focus rally cars go around the circuit. So, yeah, you're probably quite right, yeah. It was Sebastian Loeb, who's a rally driver, who actually won the whole event. Organisational-wise, it could have been done a little bit better. The track was cold and wet, and for such a small track, even the slightest bit of frost and ice on the track meant that it was almost impossible to drive around.
Fun to watch.
Well, the intentions were that they were going to have stars in the cars, and so there was some sports personalities who were supposed to be racing around in these little Fiat 500s. They went out, they did like half a lap, crashed not long after the starting straight, and that was it. We then had to sit for sort of half an hour, which had been allotted for this stars in the cars race. Also, there was supposed to have been a race between... Oh, the names have gone completely out of my head now. The Formula One chappie, what's his name, Lance?
Lewis Hamilton?
Lewis Hamilton, that's the one. How could I forget Lewis Hamilton? There was supposed to be a race between Lewis Hamilton and the guy who won the Sportsman of the Year, Hoy.
Oh, Will Hoy.
Will Hoy.
Yeah.
He was going to be on a bike. Lewis Hamilton was going to be in a car. But again, because it was too icy, the cyclist wouldn't have been able to go around it, so they cancelled that. Meanwhile, this is Wembley Stadium. This is like winter. And so we are sat up in the stadium absolutely freezing our nuts off. Such conversations as, do you think you retain more heat by sitting very, very still or by jumping up and down and shivering a little? Oh, I don't know. Let's find out. This kind of conversation was going on.
Doesn't the roof close on Wembley Stadium?
Funny you should mention that, because this was a point that was raised between us while we were waiting for the next race to happen. You could see this big roof open above you and tracks and stuff. It's like, can you close the roof and turn the heating on? Yeah, exactly. It wasn't until today that I actually looked up and typed into Google that very question: does the roof close on Wembley Stadium? And it closes only as far as the seating. So it doesn't actually close all the way up. So no, it doesn't close all the way up. It does get and stays very bloody cold.
Darren, who was the NASCAR guy you said was there? What was his name?
Carl Edwards.
Is he a Dodge driver by any chance?
Oh, it was good enough that I found out it was NASCAR. No.
You see, the reason I ask is because this summer I had my first NASCAR experience, and I went to see the Coca-Cola 600 Cup at Charlotte Raceway in Charlotte, in North Carolina, which was a spectacular experience, I have to say. It's boring as shit watching it on TV, but it was pretty impressive being there. And I think it was him that won. That name seems to ring a bell. It could have been, or it could have been some other crazy redneck in a moonshine car, but I think it might have been Carl Edwards.
I have to say that the whole thing itself was a good idea, and apparently this has been going on for some years, so it wasn't a new thing. But the weather really did let us down, and it was something that I'm glad I did, but I wouldn't be rushing to do it again if it's going to be at the same time again every other year.
I mean, at least you did get to see some crashes, and let's be honest, that's the only reason people go to see motorsport.
I forgot one thing else as well. Lewis Hamilton did also run his Formula One car around the track.
Oh, really?
Wow.
So a Formula One car on Wembley turf, that was... yeah, that was loud. What they actually had, they put some canvases down and they spun the back wheels of the Formula One car across the canvas, and then Lewis Hamilton signed them, and they're pieces of art that were then being auctioned off for charity.
Oh, that's pretty cool. Yeah. I remember one time watching on one of the Jeremy Clarkson videos, and he did a race between a Formula One car, a rally car, and a World Superbike motorcycle.
Yep.
And as it goes, the rally car won. It beat all of them out.
Oh, I would have thought it would have been the motorbike.
Yeah, most people would. And actually, I mean, that's a bit of a mythology, and it's a mythology that's often perpetuated by motorbikers. Bikes aren't as fast as cars if you really want to get down to driving. A car can corner a lot faster than a bike.
That's the thing, isn't it? On the straight and from takeoff, a motorbike will beat a car. But once you get into cornering, because the car's got four wheels and the bike only has two, a car can go around a corner so much faster than a bike that it leaves them standing. They can catch up basically as they come to the next corner, and then they drop back off again.
Right, but
absolutely.
This Jeremy Clarkson thing, didn't you say that was just a straight run? Or was that
No, it was a full racetrack.
Oh, okay. No, that's fair enough then.
It's the rally car, then the Formula One car, then the bike. And I mean, one of the main reasons, of course, the rally car wins is because it doesn't have to follow racing lines like the other two do.
Oh, and also the racing car does need absolutely perfect road conditions, otherwise they have to go slowly so as not to damage the poor thing, don't they?
Yeah, I mean, as it goes, it was fairly, it was dry conditions, good conditions and everything, but it's just down to pure physics and the way cars work.
Yeah.
And the rally car is faster over that period, which I actually found fascinating because I thought the Formula One car would win, but it did.
It's funny you should say that because the first year that ITV got the Formula One rights to show the races, they did a very similar type of thing at, I think it was Silverstone, I'm not 100% sure, but they had the Ford Formula One car when Ford were racing at the time. They had who's the rally driver that's died? Colin McRae. He was in the Ford Focus, and then they had another high-end Ford normal road-going car, and they did a very similar thing in that the road-going car started off, raced around the track, and he was about halfway around, and then they let I've forgotten his name again. Colin McRae go. They let Colin McRae go. So, of course, he goes blasting off, sliding around the corners, catching this normal Ford up in no problem whatsoever. And then just as he was about 2/3 of the way round, the first Ford was 2/3 of the way round the track, the Formula One car left. Now, of course, obviously, that he's on a purpose-built racetrack for Formula One cars, and he blitzed them all. And they timed it perfectly, so as they came round the final straight, they were all in a line. And then the Formula One car just gunned it and left them all standing. And they crossed the line, Formula One car, rally car, normal road-going car.
Yeah, interesting you say that, actually. I think it was Colin McRae that did this one, because it was the Ford rally car, the Ford Focus rally car. So I think it was McRae that did that as well.
Yeah, it probably was. Yeah, if it was McRae, then it would have been the Ford, wouldn't it?
Yeah, which is a bit of a shame. He should have stuck to driving rally cars and not flying helicopters.
Hi, this is Scott Sigler, author of the horror novels Infected and Contagious. Congratulations to the Dumbed Down Life for making it through a whole year. Now roll out the plaid tanks and spread the word of Siglerism.
On a cold street in a dirty town, when the rain is falling, really coming down, ooh, you listen to your heartbeat. When you listen listen to your heartbeat. Oh yeah, your heartbeat. Oh baby, listen to your heartbeat. Listen to your heartbeat. Better listen to your heartbeat. Yeah. Why don't you listen to your heartbeat? Yeah. You gotta listen to your heartbeat. Oh, you better listen to your heartbeat. You gotta listen to your heartbeat, heartbeat, yeah, you gotta listen to your heartbeat. You gotta give me your heartbeat, heartbeat, baby. Heartbeat. You gotta give me your heartbeat, heartbeat, baby. Heartbeat, heartbeat, baby.
Lance Larson there with Listen to Your Heart, and those of you with a keen ear will have noticed Mr. John Bon Jovi on backing vocals on that one. Anyway, 'tis the season to be jolly. It's also the season to be drunk and to be broke. That's right, folks, it's Christmas. So before I go on with my next little thing, I'd just like to take this opportunity to wish all of our listeners a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, and say thanks for sticking with us for the whole year, and hopefully you'll join us again next year for even more stunning performances by the three of us.
God, ever the optimist, eh?
So anyway, I thought, given that it is the Christmas season, that I'd look up some trivia, which of course I'm fond of doing when I'm short of a topic. Let's just go grab some trivia, and that'll cover my arse. So here we go. This is a little Christmas trivia, and some of these are more interesting than others, so you're just going to have to bear with me. Now, the first one, of course, we all love mince pies. Good God, I love mince pies. And in fact, I'm not sure I can get them in America. I'll have to look that up anyway. But mince pies, in Britain, eating mince pies at Christmas dates back to the 16th century. It is still believed that to eat mince pies on each of the 12 days of Christmas will bring 12 months of happiness in the year to follow.
Now, one thing I'm interested about mince pies, Doug. Why are they called mince meat? Because it's not meat, is it?
No, well, you'd hope not. Well, mince meat pies wouldn't be bad. They just wouldn't be quite as fruity and spicy flavoured as mince pies. I don't actually know. I have no idea why it's called mincemeat, Lance. Perhaps that's something you could look up and let us know on the next show.
Yeah, I'll see if I can
send me an email. You know me, I might not be here. Okay, in Britain, the Holy Days and Fasting Days Act of 1551, which incidentally has not yet been repealed, states that every citizen must attend a Christian church service on Christmas Day and must not use any kind of vehicle to get to the service, which means you've all got to walk to church on Christmas Day.
Yeah, it's not a problem for me because I have one just outside my house.
As do I.
Next to the pub.
Yeah, and it's not a problem here because in the south there's a church.
Churches in our houses, yeah.
For, every 500 yards. Okay, Christmas caroling began as an old English custom called wassailing, toasting neighbours to a long and healthy life. And the word wassail comes from the Old Norse veshail, to be of good health. This evolved into the tradition of visiting neighbours on Christmas Eve and drinking to their health. Before settling on the name of Tiny Tim for his character in A Christmas Carol, 3 other alliterative names were considered by Charles Dickens, and they were Little Larry, Puny Pete, and Small Sam.
Glad we went with Tiny Tim.
Yeah, I know, Puny Pete. I mean, really, good Lord. Okay, electric Christmas tree lights were first used in 1895. The idea for using electric Christmas lights came from an American, Ralph E. Morris. The new lights proved safer than the traditional candles. Sticking with Christmas trees, for every real Christmas tree harvested, 2 to 3 seedlings are planted in its place. And in 1647, the English Parliament passed a law that made Christmas illegal. Festivities were banned by Puritan leader Oliver Cromwell, who considered feasting and revelry on what was supposed to be a holy day to be immoral. The ban was lifted only when the Puritans lost power in 1660.
Sorry, when was it imposed?
1647.
So what?
13 years.
13 years.
Yep, 13 years.
I wonder if they did actually sort of police that, or whether it was a rule that everybody ignored.
Knowing Oliver Cromwell, I would imagine they policed it.
I was just going to say exactly the same thing, yeah. And I mean, the Puritans were Puritans and bastardans as well, so they did tend to be a bit severe about things.
They were a bit hellfire and brimstone, weren't they?
Absolutely. And in medieval England, Nicholas was just another saint. He had not yet been referred to as Santa Claus, and he had nothing to do with Christmas. And here's a good one for you to bear in mind on Boxing Day, which incidentally is an English tradition. When I came over to America and started mentioning Boxing Day to people, they looked at me blankly.
No clue. Yep.
No such thing as Boxing Day in America. Go figure. It is estimated that 400,000 people become sick each year from eating tainted Christmas leftovers. Quite frankly, if they're going to get their taint on Christmas leftovers, the tradition of Christmas lights dates back to when Christians were persecuted for saying mass.
He's gone.
Sorry.
Mute your microphone, dude. We can carry on.
Okay, the tradition of Christmas lights dates back to when Christians were persecuted for saying Mass. A simple candle in the window meant that Mass would be celebrated there that night. This is an interesting one, Lance. Jesus Christ, son of Mary, was born in a cave, not in a wooden stable. Caves were used to keep animals in because of the intense heat. A large church is now built over the cave, and people can go down inside the cave. The carpenters of Jesus' day were really stonecutters. Wood was not used as wisely as it is today. So whenever you see a Christmas nativity scene with a wooden stable, that's the American version, not the biblical one.
Oh, I didn't know that.
You say he was born as if it's sort of factual. You have some proof?
Me personally, no.
Okay.
Now, I think it's widely agreed that there was a person called Jesus living around that time, but it's up for debate whether he was actually the Son of God or not.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm an atheist and I believe in Jesus.
I think the Jews believe that he was just a prophet, a teacher.
Jews and prophet, there's an irony. Okay. Mistletoe, a traditional Christmas symbol, was once revered by the early Britons. It was so sacred that it had to be cut with a golden sickle.
Isn't that it's a pagan thing, isn't it?
I would think so. Being early Britons, yeah, you'd assume so. It doesn't actually say here in my list of notes that I quickly scribbled and copied.
Yeah, it's a pagan. A lot of things from Christianity are actual pagan festivals and religions, like Christmas. Actually, I don't know whether I'm about to jump in on something here, but Jesus was apparently born in July, but they celebrate his birthday at Christmas because it closely matches the winter solstice, and it was a way of getting the pagans into a Christian church.
That's right, and it was actually the Romans that did most of that because they were fed up of having lots of different religions and it causing chaos. So they did what they could to bring all of them under one religion, and Christianity was chosen.
Yeah.
Obviously the same as, Easter, because bunny rabbits have fuck all to do with Christianity. That's a pagan.
Absolutely, yeah.
Now, this one I quite like. I don't know why, this just struck me. This reminds me of the fire engine joke. What's red and sits in a corner crying? A naughty fire engine. It makes you want to go, ah. Postmen in Victorian England were popularly called robins. This was because their uniforms were red. The British Post Office grew it out of the carrying of royal dispatches. Red was considered a royal colour, so uniforms and letterboxes were red. Christmas cards often showed a robin delivering Christmas mail.
Oh.
Yeah, I quite like that one. I have no idea why.
See, when you say what's small red and sits in the corner, I didn't think of the fire engine. I thought it was a baby chewing razor blades.
Yeah, but I did prefix mine with it being cute.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, cute. And they're chewing razor blades or not.
If you think that's cute, you have issues, Darren.
The Silent Night was written in 1818 by an Austrian priest, Joseph Mohr. He was told the day before Christmas that the church organ was broken and would not be prepared in time for Christmas Eve. He was saddened by this and could not think of a Christmas without music, so he wanted to write a carol that could be sung by a choir to guitar music. He sat down and wrote 3 stanzas. Later that night, the people in the little Austrian church sang Stille Nacht for the first time.
Oh, wow. That's quite interesting.
Yeah, I rather like that. The abbreviation of Xmas for Christmas is not irreligious. The first letter of the word Christ in Greek is chi, which is identical to our X. Xmas was originally an ecclesiastical abbreviation that was used in tables and charts.
Ah.
And when Robert Louis Stevenson, author of Treasure Island, died on December the 4th, 1894, he willed his November the 13th birthday to a friend who disliked her own Christmas birthday. And this last one, this is a real Christmassy one. Can you guys tell me the name of all of Santa's reindeers?
No.
Hang on. Donder, Blitzen, Dasher, Prancer, Dancer, Cupid, and Vixen.
Well done, Lance, except for the fact there's no reindeer called Donder.
Ooh, are you sure?
Yes, I'm positive, mate, because it's Donner and Blitzen, which is German for thunder and
That's
lightning.
it, yes, fair enough.
Did you say Rudolph?
No.
Oh.
Rudolph wasn't one of Santa's reindeers originally.
Originally.
The only reason why I know this is because I've got the book of the poem, "'Twas the Night Before Christmas."
Uh-huh.
And
That's right.
He does read them out as he says, "On Donder, on Blitzen, and on the rest of your lazy gits."
Donna.
Yeah, all right. Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah, absolutely, Lance. You're spot on. It's Dasher, Dancer, Prancer, Vixen, Comet, Cupid, Donner, and Blitzen. And Rudolph, incidentally, Darren, was created by somebody else. It was a story written. So he wasn't one of those group.
Who compiled the original group?
I have no idea.
Hold on. If you we'll play the next song, and I'll go and get the book, and I'll tell you who wrote the story.
I don't think there is another song.
There isn't.
No, there is.
Well, there kind of is.
There kind of is, but it kind of links into this. So.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. I'll put it in the show notes then.
Yeah, absolutely. But I think it was like 1932 that Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer came out. And here's another trivia fact that isn't actually in my list, but I found this out the other day. The modern conception of Santa Claus and the modern image of Santa Claus was actually created by the Coca-Cola company.
Check that. I think that's an urban legend.
Yeah, I'm inclined to agree with Darren there.
Well, just shoot me down in fucking... I have to be honest. I saw it on TV, and I believe everything I see on TV. So I did.
Yeah, you should look it up on Wikipedia.
Yeah, because the version I heard, you see, was that Santa Claus was originally green, and he became popular as red because of the Coke adverts.
Well, then that would technically be the modern interpretation of Santa Claus.
Possibly.
And I thought that whole thing had been shown to be wrong, but I may well be wrong.
Well, I'll tell you what, we're all wrong.
If anybody knows, let us know, because we obviously don't.
These are famous Christmas carols. I know it ain't Christmas, but I'm going to do these Christmas carols. These are good American patriotic Christmas carols, and God bless America, and thanks for coming soon. Get a job, you bum 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 bum. Money don't grow on trees, you bum 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 bum. Silent farts, deadly farts, always come, not for long. Oh, come, all ye legal foreigners, come and get them green cards and learn some damn English and then how to drive. I wish my mother and all get hit by a car. I wish my mother and all get hit by a car. I wish my mother and all get hit by a car so I wouldn't have to hear her, bitch. Blue balls, it's dollar night at the titty club. See them dance on my pants, Soon it will be bathroom time. You better watch out, I think she's a guy. I ain't quite sure, but something ain't right. Janet Reno's coming to town. Donnie the retard had an 8-pound waterhead. He was 5'3" and he said to me, "My name's Donnie." The first queer Santa Claus wore red leather chaps and a pair of white shorty shorts that had a hole in the back. I pissed my pants, the toilet was just too far. I drunk too much damn beer. I tried to hold it in, but my bladder just gave in. And I pissed right through my drawers, right through my Wrangler drawers. I pissed my Wrangler drawers. Get her done, everybody. Thanks a lot. Come back and see me again. Thank you.
Larry the Cable Guy there with some alternate versions of our favourite Christmas carols. Well, that now does sort of put the not family safe tag on this one. Not done that for a while, have we?
And funnily enough, it was Doug's suggestion to play it.
Unusual, that, isn't it?
Yeah, there you go.
Do you know, my father always used to tell me, if you have to swear, you don't have a good grasp of the English language. Personally, I always thought that was bollocks.
What are you doing for Christmas, Doug?
My wife, hopefully.
What, as opposed to who are you doing for Christmas, Doug?
Not a lot. We're going over to my brother-in-law's on Christmas Eve. But then Christmas Day, I've always been a firm believer of staying at home and enjoying your family on Christmas Day. I'm not a big one for going out and about on Christmas Day. So we shall be at home opening presents.
Lance?
I shall be going down to my sister's. The whole family's coming to my sister's for dinner. Other than that, not an awful lot, really. I've got Ari until the 28th, so just playing with her, I guess.
Yeah, it's Christmas dinner in front of the television on my own. But I'm doing the family thing the following day, Boxing Day, as Doug reminded us. But we probably won't be doing a Christmas show or recording sort of later again this week. So I'm not quite sure when the next show will be. But just want to take this opportunity to say to everybody, Happy Christmas and have Happy New Year.
You can call the Dumbed Down Life crew on 07092 274 759.
You can follow us on Twitter. Our account name is Dumbed Down Life.
The email address is ddl.podshow@gmail.com. The website address is www.dumbeddownlife.com. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.